going to continue today talking about ropes. Right now we're going to talk about single dynamic ropes. So those are ropes that are made to be used by themselves. They don't have to be paired with another rope. And dynamic means they have stretch, which means they're appropriate for using if you're a lead climber and you take a lead or fall. We're going to start here on the far left. These ropes are very thin, dry treated, single rated 40-meter ropes. This particular one is made by Mammut, and it's a 9.0. This is also made by Mammut, and it's an 8.7. And I've added middle markers to these. Mammut doesn't produce these in 40-meter lengths, so I've taken two 80 meters and cut them in half to give me two separate sets of 40-meter ropes. The reason I like 40-meter ropes is if I'm climbing in an alpine environment, it's very unusual for pitches, which means the length of technical climbing, to be more than 40 meters. So 40 meters is about the maximum that I would need, and in an alpine environment it starts to become very dangerous if your pitches are longer because of the traversing nature of the terrain and loose rock in particular. So you want to stay close enough that you can communicate well and you can prevent long lengths of rope dragging off loose rock. The other reason I like shorter ropes in an alpine environment is because alpine environments tend to be very far away from the trailhead. So it's a lot of extra weight to carry. If there's no pitches longer than 40 meters, there's no need to carry that extra rope. So if I'm climbing with one other person or I'm guiding a single client, then I'll just carry one of these ropes and a tag line quite frequently. Sometimes I'll carry a single 60-meter rope, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But if I'm working with two clients or I'm climbing with two other people recreationally, I might take two of these ropes, and that also allows the load to be divided by two. So 40 meter is a great length of rope for alpine climbing in particular. Next rope here is a single rated 9.2 60-meter rope. 60-meter ropes are really great if you're dealing with terrain that's more sustained, 5th class climbing, especially if it's 5, 6 and above 5th class climbing. Then I'll oftentimes take a 60-meter rope. 60 meter is also my favorite rope for multi-pitch rock climbing outside of an alpine environment. So I lived in Yosemite for a number of years, and I love working with 60-meter ropes when possible. The reason I typically prefer 60-meter ropes as opposed to 70-meter ropes has to do with some of the same things I talked about with the 40-meter. The longer the length of rope that you bring, the further away you get from your belayer and the more rope drag you have. So the more difficult the climbing becomes. It also means you need to bring more protection, which means even more weight, which makes the climbing even more difficult and sometimes more dangerous. So by having shorter ropes, placing your belays faster, sometimes your climbing speeds up and you can actually climb faster than a party climbing with a longer rope and trying to link pitches, especially once you've developed your climbing ability and you can construct anchors quickly and efficiently. So 60-meter rope, my favorite multi-pitch rock rope. Another great thing about a 60-meter rope is on a lot of alpine routes, the technical climbing is less than 30 meters, in which case I can fold this 60-meter rope in half, tie into the middle of it, and belay two people simultaneously on the ends of the rope. So 60-meter offers a lot of versatility in an alpine environment as well. The last rope I have here is a 9.6 70-meter rope. I used to have a 9.8 70-meter rope, but the durability of thinner cords has gotten better and better, so it's a 9.6 that I have here. And it's 70 meters, which I really like if I'm in a single pitch environment where there's not big approaches. I'm not as worried about carrying the extra weight. And some of those single pitches might be greater than 30 meters, which means if I want the rope to go all the way up to the top of the route and all the way back down, I'll need something longer than a 60-meter rope. And a 70-meter does the trick for easily 99% of single pitch climbs in a cragging environment. So this particular rope is not dry treated, although a dry treatment may make it last longer. It's used in a single pitch cragging environment in the summer, so there's not really much water it's exposed to. And these other three ropes here are all treated with dry treatment to make them last longer in a wet environment. Hopefully this has been helpful.